The Power of the Loner, Miyamoto Musashi. In the noise of our modern world, we are seldom alone. Our minds are constantly bombarded with information, thoughts, and distractions. But what if being alone, truly alone, could be the path to changing your life? Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary samurai, believes so. He spent most of his life in solitude, honing his craft and developing his philosophy. In his final work, Dokodo, or The Path of Walking Alone, Musashi left us 21 precepts that guide a person towards a fulfilling life, a life enriched by the power of solitude. Join me as we delve into Musashi's philosophy of solitude and discover how being alone can indeed change your life. Before we dive into the profound thoughts he left behind, let's first delve into who Miyamoto Musashi was. A revered figure, a ronin, a roving samurai without a lord, Musashi was born in 1584 in a Japan torn apart by civil wars. His prowess with the sword was unparalleled, but it was his profound wisdom that continues to inspire us centuries later. He was an artist, a philosopher, and most famously, a swordsman who won over 60 duels, many of them to the death. But his journey was far from a trail of endless violence. It was a path that led to deep introspection and wisdom. Musashi's life was marked by a relentless pursuit of mastery over self through discipline, dedication, and crucially, solitude. Musashi's solitude wasn't about a monk-like existence away from society. It was about mental solitude, a self-imposed state of mind where the chatter of the external world was muted. He advocated introspection and a clear mind free from distractions as the path to self-improvement. This understanding was encapsulated in his Dokodo, which translates to the path of walking alone. Through these precepts, he provided guidance on how to live without fear, regret, or distraction, and the importance of being true to oneself. I invite you to ponder a question. What does it truly mean to be alone? Not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. In our interconnected world, can we find a way to experience solitude in its fullness? Musashi's philosophy emphasized solitude not as a means to isolation, but as a path to self-discovery and self-improvement. He believed that solitude allowed him to sharpen his mind and body without distraction, honing his skills and understanding himself at a deeper level. In the silence and peace of solitude, he found clarity, freed from the influence and judgment of others. It was an opportunity for him to learn, grow, and come to terms with his own strengths and weaknesses without the external noise that often clouds our judgment and self-perception. Musashi wrote, "Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world." He urged people to turn their focus outward, to observe, learn, and understand the world around them while maintaining a humble sense of self. It's about removing ego and opening oneself to the vast knowledge the world has to offer. This humble self-awareness, coupled with a profound understanding of the world, forges a formidable path towards self-improvement and personal growth. But how can we apply these ancient teachings to our modern lives? The lessons Musashi gleaned from solitude are not just applicable to the life of a samurai, but can be carried into our lives today, centuries later. He formulated these insights into the Dokodo, also known as the Path of Aloneness, or the Way to Go Forth Alone, a short work written a week before his death. One of the lessons Musashi teaches us is the value of self-reliance. He states in the Dokodo, "Do not seek pleasure for its own sake." This is a reminder that fleeting happiness derived from external validation or material possessions does not lead to long-lasting fulfillment. Instead, Musashi urges us to find satisfaction within ourselves, in our actions, and in our personal growth. Another key point in the Dokodo is the principle of Do not, under any circumstances, depend on a partial feeling. This urges us to not act impulsively based on transient emotions, but to carefully contemplate our actions and their consequences. Our decisions should be thoughtfully made, fully conscious, and independent of fleeting feelings or external influences. Furthermore, Musashi highlights the importance of being unattached to physical and temporal things. In the Dokudo, he advises, "Do not hold on to possessions you no longer need." This counsel to let go of unnecessary attachments isn't just about material possessions. It also extends to relationships, habits, and thoughts that no longer serve us. It's a lesson in decluttering our lives physically and mentally, creating more room for growth and transformation. In another precept, he states, "Do not fear death." This is not a call to be reckless, but an encouragement to live fully and fearlessly with the understanding that death is a part of life. It's a prompt to live each day as if it were your last, cherishing every moment and taking opportunities as they come. Lastly, he urges us to be detached from desire our whole life long. This teaches us to free ourselves from the constant yearning for more that often leads to dissatisfaction and unhappiness. It's about learning to be content with what we have while still striving for self-improvement. These are just a few of the principles Musashi left us in his Dokudo. They provide us with a roadmap for navigating life, highlighting the value of introspection, self-reliance, thoughtful decision-making, and detachment from the superfluous. In today's world, we are constantly connected, with technology tying us together more closely than ever before. While these connections can bring us closer, they can also prevent us from truly being alone, from experiencing solitude in its fullness. Yet, as Musashi emphasized, solitude holds immense value for personal growth and self-understanding. So how can we implement Musashi's lessons on solitude in our interconnected world? Firstly, we can practice solitude by regularly taking time away from the hustle and bustle of daily life. This could be through daily periods of silence and solitude, be it through meditation, walks in nature, or simply sitting quietly in a room. During these times, allow yourself to think, reflect, and just be. Secondly, consider practicing digital detoxing. Setting aside designated times each day to disconnect from our devices can provide us with much-needed space for self-reflection and inner peace. It's a way of asserting our independence from the constant demands for our attention and creating space for solitude. Thirdly, solitude is about more than physical aloneness. It's also about mental and emotional aloneness. This means learning to detach ourselves from the need for approval, the urge to compare ourselves to others, and the desire to conform. It's about learning to stand firm in our beliefs and decisions, even if they go against the crowd. Lastly, make solitude a priority. Treat it as an essential part of your self-care routine, something non-negotiable. See it not as a luxury, but as a necessity for personal growth and self-understanding. The world may be different from Musashi's time, but the lessons he learned in solitude are timeless. By incorporating these principles into our lives, we can learn to not just be alone, but to thrive in aloneness, finding peace and fulfillment within ourselves, embracing the silence, the transformative power of solitude. Embracing solitude isn't always easy. It often goes against our instincts for connection and social interaction. We can even fear solitude, associating it with loneliness, isolation, or rejection. And in our connected world, choosing solitude can feel counterintuitive, even counterproductive. Firstly, it's essential to differentiate between solitude and loneliness. Loneliness is a state of emotional distress, a sense of being socially isolated or cut off. It's an unwanted state, a feeling of disconnection. Solitude, on the other hand, is being alone without feeling lonely. It's a positive and constructive state of engagement with oneself. Secondly, realize that solitude isn't an all-or-nothing concept. You don't have to retreat into a cave or live as a hermit to experience solitude. Instead, it's about finding balance, incorporating periods of quiet, introspective alone time into your daily life. Thirdly, remember that solitude requires intentionality. It's a conscious choice, a deliberate act. It's about making time for yourself, for your thoughts and reflections. Lastly, embrace the discomfort that can come with solitude. This discomfort can be a sign of growth, a sign that you're challenging yourself, pushing your boundaries, and stepping out of your comfort zone. Musashi understood the challenges of embracing solitude, yet he also recognized its benefits. Through his life and his teachings, he gives us a blueprint for overcoming these challenges and harnessing the transformative power of solitude. The journey through the life and teachings of Miyamoto Musashi is a powerful reminder of the significance of solitude in personal growth and self-realization. The path to self-mastery often requires walking alone. The journey may not be easy, but it is undoubtedly rewarding. And perhaps, as Musashi did, you too will discover that being alone can indeed change your life. At this juncture, I encourage you to reflect deeply on your relationship with solitude. How do you perceive being alone? Is it a space for growth, or does it evoke feelings of discomfort and fear? What steps can you take to embrace solitude in your life? And how can it lead you towards a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you? As we continue to explore the depths of Musashi's wisdom, consider the practical applications of his teachings. How can you integrate moments of solitude into your daily routine? What practices can you adopt to cultivate a clear and introspective mind? And most importantly, how can you use solitude as a tool for self-discovery and personal transformation? By contemplating these questions and applying Musashi's principles, we can begin to unlock the profound power of solitude. We can learn to navigate the noise of our modern world with a calm and focused mind, finding clarity and purpose in the quiet moments of our lives. Through solitude, we can forge a path towards self-mastery, guided by the timeless wisdom of Miyamoto Musashi. Now, as we delve deeper into Musashi's philosophy, I invite you to consider another profound question. What does it mean to live without fear, regret, or distraction? How can we cultivate a mindset that embraces the present moment and remains undisturbed by the uncertainties of life? Reflecting on these questions will help us uncover the deeper layers of Musashi's teachings and their relevance to our own journeys of self-discovery and personal growth. By understanding and embracing the power of solitude, we can transform our lives in meaningful and lasting ways. We can learn to navigate the complexities of our modern world with a sense of inner peace and clarity, finding fulfillment and purpose in our solitary moments. Musashi's wisdom offers us a path towards self-mastery, one that requires us to walk alone but ultimately leads to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. So, as we continue on this journey together, let us embrace the silence and solitude that Musashi so deeply valued. Let us find strength and wisdom in our moments of aloneness, using them as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. And through this process, may we come to realize the profound power of the loner, guided by the timeless teachings of Miyamoto Musashi. The inner battlefield, conquering the self through solitude. In the realm of solitude, Musashi found the perfect environment to engage in a different kind of battle, the battle within. This inner battlefield is where true mastery is achieved, not through combat with others, but through conquering oneself. The journey of self-mastery is an arduous one, requiring us to confront our deepest fears, insecurities, and desires. Yet, it is through this confrontation that we can attain a higher level of understanding and control over our lives. Consider for a moment the nature of your inner conflicts. What are the fears and doubts that hold you back? How often do you find yourself acting out of impulse rather than deliberate intention? Musashi teaches us that the path to self-mastery begins with acknowledging these internal struggles and addressing them head-on. One of the key precepts in the Dokodo is, do not let yourself be guided by the feeling of lust or love. This is not a call to deny our emotions, but rather to ensure that they do not cloud our judgment or lead us astray. In solitude, we have the space to observe our emotions without being overwhelmed by them. We can learn to understand their origins and effects, allowing us to respond with clarity and wisdom rather than impulsiveness. Musashi also emphasized the importance of discipline and dedication in the pursuit of mastery. He wrote, "Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world." This precept encourages us to humble ourselves, to recognize that our journey is part of a larger tapestry of existence. By thinking lightly of ourselves, we remove the ego from our actions, allowing us to see the world and our place in it more clearly. In practical terms, how can we cultivate this mindset? One approach is through the practice of mindfulness and meditation. By setting aside time each day to sit in silence, we can observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment. This practice helps us develop a deeper awareness of our inner landscape, enabling us to navigate our lives with greater intentionality and purpose. Another practical step is to engage in activities that challenge us physically and mentally. Musashi was not only a master swordsman, but also an accomplished artist and writer. He understood that true mastery requires a holistic approach, integrating body, mind, and spirit. By pushing ourselves beyond our comfort zones, we can discover new strengths and capabilities, building resilience and confidence. Reflect for a moment on your own life. What are the areas where you feel most challenged? How can you use these challenges as opportunities for growth and self-discovery? Musashi's teachings remind us that the path to mastery is not a straight line but a series of trials and tribulations that shape us into stronger, wiser individuals. As we delve deeper into Musashi's philosophy, it becomes clear that solitude is not just a state of being, but a powerful tool for transformation. In solitude, we can confront the aspects of ourselves that we often avoid in the busyness of daily life. We can reflect on our actions, understand our motivations, and make conscious choices that align with our higher purpose. But solitude is not just about introspection. It is also about action. Musashi's life was a testament to the balance between contemplation and decisive action. He did not shy away from challenges, but faced them with a calm and focused mind, honed through years of solitary practice. This balance is something we can strive for in our own lives, using our moments of solitude to prepare for the actions we must take in the world. Consider the concept of mushin, or no mind, a state of mental clarity and presence that Musashi often sought in his practice. Mushin is the result of deep meditation and rigorous training, where the mind is free from distractions and fully engaged in the present moment. Achieving this state allows us to act with precision and effectiveness, whether in battle or in our daily lives. How can we cultivate mushin in our own lives? One approach is to practice mindfulness in our everyday activities. Whether we are working, exercising, or engaging in creative pursuits, we can strive to be fully present, letting go of extraneous thoughts and focusing on the task at hand. This practice helps us develop a deeper connection to our actions, enhancing our performance and bringing a sense of peace and fulfillment. Another key aspect of Musashi's philosophy is the importance of self-reliance. In the Dokodo, he wrote, "Do not rely on others' strength, but use your own." This precept encourages us to trust in our abilities and to take responsibility for our growth and success. In solitude, we can reflect on our strengths and weaknesses, developing a realistic and empowered sense of self. Reflect on a time when you relied on your inner strength to overcome a challenge. How did this experience shape your understanding of yourself and your capabilities? Musashi's teachings remind us that we have the power within us to navigate the complexities of life, and that solitude can help us tap into this inner reservoir of strength. As we continue to explore Musashi's wisdom, let us consider another profound question. What does it mean to live without regret? How can we make choices that align with our true selves, free from the influence of external pressures and fleeting emotions? By contemplating these questions, we can uncover deeper insights into Musashi's philosophy and its relevance to our own journeys of self-discovery and personal growth. Through the practice of solitude, we can develop a clearer understanding of our values and priorities. We can learn to make decisions that reflect our authentic selves, leading to a life of greater fulfillment and purpose. Musashi's teachings offer us a path towards self-mastery, one that requires us to walk alone, but ultimately leads to a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us. In solitude, we can find the space to listen to our inner voice, to understand our desires and aspirations, and to align our actions with our higher purpose. This process is not always easy, and it may require us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves. Yet, it is through this confrontation that we can achieve true mastery over our lives, guided by the timeless wisdom of Miyamoto Musashi, the way of the loner, living a life of purpose and fulfillment. As we reach the final segment of our exploration into Musashi's philosophy, we turn our attention to the concept of living a life of purpose and fulfillment. Musashi's teachings go beyond mere survival or success in battle. They offer a profound guide to living a meaningful life, even when walking the path alone. Musashi often described himself as a loner, someone who walked his path independently of societal norms and expectations. This does not mean isolation in a negative sense, but rather a deliberate choice to follow one's own path with unwavering commitment. The way of the loner is a testament to the power of self-reliance and personal integrity. Key to this path is understanding and embracing one's own values and principles. Musashi's Dokodo, or the way of walking alone, outlines fundamental precepts that guide this journey. One such precept is, do not seek pleasure for its own sake. This principle encourages us to look beyond fleeting gratifications and to focus on deeper, more enduring sources of fulfillment. Musashi believed that every action, no matter how small, should be imbued with purpose and intention. This mindfulness transforms routine activities into opportunities for growth and self-discovery. By being fully present and engaged in each moment, we can uncover layers of meaning and joy in our daily lives. Consider how you approach your daily tasks. Are they done out of habit, or do you infuse them with intention and care? Musashi's approach teaches us to see each moment as a chance to practice our principles and to refine our character. This continuous practice leads to a life where purpose is not a distant goal, but a constant companion. Musashi was not only a warrior, but also an artist, author, and philosopher. He understood that true mastery encompasses all aspects of life, including creative and intellectual pursuits. Engaging in the arts can offer profound insights and a sense of fulfillment that complements the discipline of martial practice. Exploring creativity through writing, painting, or any other form of expression allows us to connect with our inner selves in unique ways. It provides a channel for emotions and thoughts that might otherwise remain unexpressed. For Musashi, these activities were not distractions, but essential components of a balanced and fulfilling life. Living a life of purpose also means being prepared to face adversity with resilience and adaptability. Musashi's life was marked by numerous challenges and battles, both external and internal. His ability to remain steadfast and adaptable in the face of these challenges is a testament to his mastery. Reflect on your own experiences of adversity. How have they shaped you? What lessons have you learned? Musashi's teachings remind us that every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. By cultivating resilience, we can navigate life's uncertainties with confidence and grace. One of the most profound aspects of Musashi's philosophy is the pursuit of a life without regret. This does not mean a life without mistakes, but rather a life where each decision is made with clarity and intention, free from the influence of fear or external pressures. To live without regret, we must be true to ourselves and our values. This requires ongoing reflection and a willingness to confront difficult truths. By aligning our actions with our authentic selves, we can look back on our lives with a sense of peace and fulfillment. The way of the loner, as exemplified by Miyamoto Musashi, is a path of deep introspection, discipline, and unwavering commitment to one's principles. It is a journey that requires courage, resilience, and a willingness to walk alone if necessary. Yet, it is through this journey that we can discover our true selves and live a life of profound purpose and fulfillment. As you reflect on Musashi's teachings, consider how you can integrate these principles into your own life. Whether through solitude, mindfulness, creativity, or resilience, there are many ways to walk the path of the loner. Ultimately, this path leads to a deeper connection with ourselves and a more meaningful engagement with the world around us. May Musashi's wisdom guide you on your journey towards self-mastery and a life without regret.